All right, I think we're live. Good?
I can hear you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Quadplex here in beautiful Wisconsin Rapids on the campus of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School for today's season opener for the Sevastopol Pioneers and the Assumption Royals. Steve Maves alongside Paul J. Glinski on a cloudy, then sunny, windy, warm, and then cold day. The eclipse day didn't really feel it around here, but it is a good day for softball and hoping for some good competition here this afternoon. Reminder that today's pregame show is brought to you by Nakusa Port Edward State Bank. At Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, you can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Their more than 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area makes them your neighbors, your friends, and your family. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Paul, two teams that had pretty successful years last year. Sevastopol 16-7 in a very, very good conference over in the eastern part of the state. Assumption state qualifiers last year, but two teams that graduated a lot of very talented young ladies.
So they always claim that softball is about your pitcher. And for both teams, they graduated their starting pitcher. Bailey Ricola for Sevastopol graduated, very talented three-sport athlete up for Sevastopol. So you'll see with what happens on the mound. Of course, that shifts everybody around. And, of course, for Assumption, graduating Ava Schill, multiple-time Conference Player of the Year, pitching well, actually, over at UWGB, by the way. But losing both pitchers will change things for it. Now, the good news for Coach Nelson and Coach Schill is that they bring back Macy Vollert and Ari Kavanaugh, so two talented arms that threw some innings last year as they were trying to manage or limit the amount of innings that Macy pitched. But you're going to have a whole bunch of freshmen or a whole bunch of people playing a couple different places, including one of the things I'm most interested in is that Anna Scully has been so good for Assumption at first base as a freshman and a sophomore. But now with Kristen Casey graduating, Claire Nelson moves to the catcher spot. Anna moves to the shortstop spot. You put a freshman in at first base. It could be organized chaos. I like it.
Yeah, should be a good one here today. Both teams wanting to get a game in before conference starts. Assumption heading to Auburndale tomorrow and then hosting Auburndale on Friday, which could end up being one of the top three teams in the conference. Got to look at Stratford, first ever state trip last year for the Tigers in softball, returning a good majority of their players again this year. Don't want to say it's a three-horse race right now because don't know. It's still early, but you have to think Auburndale, Assumption, and Stratford atop the conference. You have Marathon, Edgar, and Newman as well. Edgar is going to have to try and find themselves with their all-conference pitcher Michaela Workus not playing.
Yeah, the loss of Michaela Workus for Edgar, I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get to that game, but the loss of Michaela Workus is both disappointing for her because she's very, very talented in the area, but will definitely change their season. Again, going back to what we talked before, pitching will be a big significant story. I think the other thing that's pretty interesting about this game is so Friday and Saturday, walking past with the dog each day, these fields were snow covered, but because of the turf, it's able to dry out. You're able to go ahead and get games and plays in. Whereas, if we would normally be at Robbie, even though the snow is off, your outfield is still wet as things are drying out. So, again, nice to get a look at the facilities, nice to play on turf, so good experiences. But from snow to ball in 3 days could be a record.
Yeah.
Very, very, again, interesting spring that we have going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And give a big shout-out to Assistant Athletic Director Scout here at Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. He's the quadplex coordinator, scheduling and rescheduling and telling teams to come and have fun and all this stuff. So big shout-out to both of these teams, obviously, but also the athletic department here at Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School to have this facility and have all these teams coming here and playing. We have a game here later tonight. It's going to be Abbey Colby and Lakeland in a baseball game at 6 o'clock, just to the right of us. So as the
I feel like they
starting
should
lineups.
spin the goalpost around, and if you hit it through it, your home run counts for 3. And if you hit it off of the ice arena, then everybody should be forced to holler goal. But it is a really cool venue. Like I said, it's my first opportunity to come see a ball game here. Obviously, we talked about the fact that this facility is going to host the Legion State tournament covered by Zaleski Sports this summer. So very interesting to just get here and see. Like I said, it seems like I wanted to say, boy, it's pretty early for softball. But it's now a 4-week season, and we'll be talking about playoffs. So,
yeah, absolutely.
The question is, or is it not early? I guess it's about time to, as Euchre would say, play ball.
We will.
Now, if you would please bow your heads in a prayer in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
That one.
Lord, please protect both of these teams, Assumption and Sevastopol, as they play their hearts out today. At the end of the game, all the glory will be given to you. We thank you and we pray all of these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Now, if you would please rise, if you were able, remove your hats, and place your hands over your heart for the playing of the national anthem.
What sets Nakusa Port Edward State Bank apart from other Wisconsin banks far beyond rates and financial services? You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank has over 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area, local small and mid-sized businesses, while proudly supporting so many community projects over the years. They're your neighbors, your friends, and you'll find them actively serving communities where we work, live, and play. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All right, welcome back to the Wisconsin Rapids Area Quadplex here for this afternoon's matchup between the Assumption Royals and the Sevastopol Pioneers. Macy Vollert in the circle for the Royals, and they'll be facing off against Naomi Ricola, Taylor Kachansky, Jolene Lutke, Addison Shosky, Elena Schaff, Addison Sawyer, Bryn Shortner, Sienna Kane, and Olivia Dusler for the Pioneers.
Shout out to the Assumption /Rapids Lincoln Choir, who I thought did a great job. Sounded great on the national anthem there. Well done, ladies, singing that beautiful rendition honoring our country. And we're ready to go ahead and play some ball, Steve.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, I think. The opening day of practice, less than a month ago, or about a month ago, for the softball teams. I went over to Robinson Park, and they were in short sleeves and shorts and everything practicing, and then Wisconsin weather happened. So, but we are ready to get underway here this afternoon. Glad you're all joining us, and the first offering of the season for Macy Vollert is good for a strike.
Yeah, big thank you to everybody joining us. I'm not sure we have the 18.7 million that watched the Caitlin Clark Iowa-South Carolina game, but again, we are thankful for all that are tuning in. Check out softball action as Macy Vollert paints the corner, and it builds an early no-ball, two-strike count.
Yeah, it was a nice movement there by Macy. We'll give you the defensive alignment here in just a moment for the Lady Royals. As the 0-2 comes home, misses outside, good waste, 1-2.
Nibbling, they would say, right? Nibbling at the corner. So, again, we talked about the fact with Ava Schill graduating and now being over at Green Bay, the loss of a Division I pitcher as that ball's fall down the right field line. So the loss of the Division I pitcher, Steve, is a pretty significant loss. But having someone like Macy that has not only innings experience, but throws the ball as well as she does to step in is a pretty fortunate luxury, especially for softball. What are your thoughts on Macy?
And just misses inside is, to be able to learn from Ava and pitch in doubleheaders, second games with her, and all that stuff. So it's going to be a good learning curve, as there's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Macy Vollert. We'll get to a comment here in just a moment. Amy, thank you for reaching out. As she says, Sevastopol did not lose a pitcher. Ricola was shortstop. Libby Ash is out with injury. She was our number one pitcher last year. So,
gotcha.
Well, yeah, that's why we thank people for messaging.
Appreciate that. We're just kind of looking off of WIS Sports, and it listed her as a pitcher, infielder, outfielder. So she was kind of a do-it-all, folks. But again, I think she said that Libby is hurt. Is that correct?
Yep.
So thoughts and prayers to Libby. Hopefully she has a full recovery from whatever her injury was.
Taylor Kachansky now at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's an off-speed pitch and a beauty, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's the one positive and the beauty of YouTube and comments and all that stuff is people let us know some nice tidbits there. And there's a swing and a miss, and Macy Vollert back-to-back strikeouts to start the year.
Macy with really pinpoint control. That's one of the things, if you think about from where she was last year. You had talked about Stratford being a leader, one of the leaders in the conference. If you remember right, last year, Stratford faced Macy and Ari in the 2 conference games and did not score a run against them. So obviously some good fresh arms for for Rapids Assumption.
Jolene Lutke, the left fielder, now at the plate. 2 away. The defensive alignment, Carol Smits, Jay Glinski from left to right in the outfield. As Vollert, again, velocity and control so far are pinpoint. As Paul mentioned, no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Hahn, Schooley, Kavanaugh, and Moss from third to first, and Claire Nelson. We'll talk about Claire when she comes up to bat. Big news for Miss Nelson yesterday. And Macy Vollert strikes out the side here in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. We have played a half an inning. It's Sevastopol nothing and Assumption coming up. You're watching high school softball. It's Zaleski Sports.
You couldn't possibly go through all this stuff by yourself, especially since Dad isn't as young and mobile as he used to be. I'd love to help if I had more time between work, kids, and their activities. Have you considered getting any help?
I'd love to, but I don't know who to call.
Kushel & Kushel, removal and recycling services for seniors, handicaps, and those who need help. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. From painting, landscaping, moving, chores, and more. Please give David a call at 715-323-5762.
Business owners share so many challenges, but there's one challenge that has an easy solution. Branding your business with creative graphics and a plethora of effective print marketing options is as easy as Quality Plus Printing. With over 30 years of marketing expertise and a track record of happy customers, you can trust in Quality Plus Printing to develop the perfect brand for you. As a business owner, you have enough to focus on. Give yourself a break and trust in Quality Plus Printing on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids, or find us at qpprinting.com. That's qpprinting.com.
All right, Anna Scully to lead things off here for the Royals in the home half of the first inning. Scully, Kavanaugh, Nelson, Vollert, Smits, Norton, Moss, Hahn, and Jaglinski in the first offering is swung on a miss for strike one. Anna Scully, a now 3-year starter for the Assumption Royals in her 3 major sports. 3-year varsity athlete, not a starter in all sports, but one heck of a asset for Assumption Senior High.
1 ball, 1 strike early in the count here for Anna here in the bottom of the first inning.
Addison Shosky in the circle. Going to be hit up the middle, snagged out of the air. A nice play for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here in the home first for Ari Kavanaugh.
Especially on the AstroTurf, a heck of a grab and smooth play.
Unlock the best home, auto, commercial, and personal loans in the Rapids area. Key Savings Bank. No matter what you're financing, Key Savings Bank has the personal touch to put you at ease. Dream big, small rates. Key Savings Bank. Wheels and deals and misses low for a ball. Ari had a career debut last year. Had one heck of a huge debut against Stratford in her first varsity game last year. Inside the park home run over at Robinson Park, part of that doubleheader to start the year.
Stopped at Key Savings Bank on the way home today. Had a check to cash and needed some change, but I figured I'd stop there. It made sense. So, anyway, appreciate all of our sponsors, including Key Savings Bank. I thought that was a good, interesting joke. So, anyway, enough dad jokes about Key Savings Banks.
The 2-1 to Kavanaugh. Gonna be line foul. Look out over there. 2-2. As Claire Nelson awaits on deck here for the Royals. We'll again get into news that Claire broke yesterday on the Instagram. Count runs full to Ari, 3-2.
So one of the things for this Royal lineup is going to be they return, unlike the last 2 years where they've essentially brought back a lot of established softball players. Their top 5 in the lineup are all starters or contributors, because Ari was technically a part-time starter last year from last year's team. But 6, 7, 8, 9 are going to feature some new faces. So it'd be interesting to see for Coach Schill and Coach Nelson how they approach that. I would think it's a real different process to lose as much experience as they did and then to kind of build a team this way.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Kavanaugh. Kicks and fires home and bounces in there. And she'll head down to first base, the first base runner for the Royals today and this year. And now Claire Nelson, the catcher. Claire Nelson, again, breaking news yesterday on Instagram. She has announced her commitment to Missouri Western State University to go play some collegiate softball. She's still got another senior year left, but she said it's a big weight off of her shoulders. And the throw down to second is not going to be made, and Kavanaugh is going to try for third now. Head first slide. And a stolen base and an error for Kavanaugh, and the Royals have some momentum here with the runner at third.
It's interesting. It must be something about the number 24, because if you remember right, the number 24 last year was typically on base and would typically always steal the base, as Miss Casey playing down at Lacrosse definitely was quite the swiper herself. So nice for the Royals to go ahead and take advantage of the walk, and then a stolen base, and then would you say a reach third by error? Is that an overthrow?
That's what I put.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. Unofficial up here. 2-0 to Claire Nelson with the runner at third. Tried to check her swing and call a high strike anyway.
Yeah, Missouri Western. They're the Griffins, is what I was going to say. So,
Missouri Western State. Yep.
Missouri Western State. So they're the Griffins. So it's go Griffs, and I know that Claire's going to have an opportunity to go ahead and play catcher there. So very excited for Claire As Assumption Girls Basketball posted on Twitter yesterday, she has some unfinished business before we let her leave for Missouri Western State on both softball and basketball. But congratulations to Claire.
Absolutely. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. We'll give you, when Sevastopol comes up to bat, we'll give you the injury report from Amy Ash. Appreciate Amy again for letting us know what's up. The 3-2 line foul. Look out over there. People probably, oh no, it hit into the netting. They have netting all the way past the dugouts here, which is nice. A lot like, not quite as far as Major League Baseball, but it is nice to hope everyone is safe walking around here. The 3-2 coming back. Again, staying alive. Off the end of the bat, straight back.
Yeah, with Bailey Ricola, who I thought was pitcher, but it turned out to be the shortstop. Her dad, Ben Ricola, was a Mellon graduate and would have played softball or would have played basketball against him. And then I would coach Bailey in the WBC All-Star game last year, so I hope Bailey's doing well if she's listening.
And a high strike, and got her looking, and there's 2 away. 2 outs now for Macy Vollert, the pitcher. Speaking of Major League Baseball, Brewers back in action tonight at 5:40. They start a 4-game series against the electric Cincinnati Reds at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Grounded over to second. That's Sawyer. A low throw and able to dig it out to a shortener to end the first inning. No runs, no hits. There was an error and there was 1 left. We have played 1 complete. It's Assumption 0, Sevastopol 0. Watch high school softball, Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
3, 4, and 5 due up here for Sevastopol in the what did I say? 3, 4, and 5? 4, 5, and 6.
There we go.
It's still early. It is April, but it is early in the baseball softball season. We'll get it all figured out as Vollert in the circle. That's going to be lined into the screen by Addison Shawsky, the pitcher for the Pioneers.
Nice grab by the first base coach, by the way.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, off the net. She looked it in early season. Nice basket catch.
Breaking ball is good for a strike, and it's 0-2. So the diagnosis per se, stress fracture, missed the last 2 weeks of basketball. Should be back in 2 weeks. That's always good, though. I mean, it's never good to want to miss time, but to be able to come back. I mean, that's a good thing for Libby to be able to come back and still play this year.
Yeah, like I said, definitely wishing her well, thoughts and prayers in terms of where it goes. I was saying following the basketball season the last couple of years, Sevastopol's got a very talented group of athletes. They've been a strong contender in the sectional. So hopefully she gets back well.
The 2-2 is swung on and missed, and down to Moss at first for the out. 4th strikeout for Macy Vollert, and there's 1 away for Elena Schaff.
Compliment to Addison, by the way. I thought she did a really nice job in that last inning, working through some trouble. Didn't get frustrated by the air, overcame the walk. Yep. Really nice job to go ahead and keep the goose egg on the board for the Pioneers.
Schaff, the center fielder. Looks at a ball, just misses outside, 1-0. Some other games we'll give you the score updates here on the Zaleski Sports Network in just a moment. Some big time one in Schofield. DC Everson Spash softball to start the year. Breaking ball, weekly hit, and that's going to be foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Claire Nelson did a nice job popping up on that play. You know, it was interesting. That's a ball that on the turf took a really nice hop. She was able to field on the ground. I'm not sure that you would have gotten such a favorable hop.
There's a swing and a miss. Again, the movement and the precision so far for Macy has been outstanding so far.
0-0 is that Spash Everest score.
Chris Conley. And that one misses for a ball, 2-2.
Yep, so 0-0 is that Spash Everest score in the second inning. Again, that's one that in the Valley always Spash, obviously one of the best programs year in, year out in the state.
Oof, that just missed outside, 3-2.
And, of course, Everest had a real nice squad last year. I think they'll be in contention for it again this season. So that'll be a fun one to follow on. What else is on the network tonight, Steve?
I'll tell you after this pitch. Foul straight back. Paul was ready for it. We got Pacelli and Tri-County baseball softball. I don't know if the softball game is on or not. Pacelli and Tri-County. It sure is. Good to see they got that one on in TC. And then Pacelli and Tri-County baseball as well. Good strong throw there by Anna Schooley, and the first ball put in play by the Pioneers as it ground out to short, and there's 2 away for Addison Sawyer.
So Schooley makes the move from first base to shortstop this year. Again, first ball that she was able to field, throws the strike over to Madison Moss. Looked pretty smooth. She looked like the shortstop should look there. So nice play.
Yeah, absolutely. Good strong throw. Fouled into the net, and it's 0-1. Pacelli, the defending Division V state champions, 4, and Tri-County 0. That's girls softball.
And in baseball, the Pacelli baseball boys are up 4-0 as well over Tri-County. And that appears to be in the bottom of the first inning.
And that one misses for a ball, 1-1. Wayne Sankey always has a good group and always in contention. That one misses just low. Wayne have it in that magazine over there, but 27th year, I think, this year for Wayne Sankey, the head man of the Pacelli Cardinals. That may be too many. I'm not sure. But over 400 wins, grounded up the middle, backhanded by Kavanaugh under her glove, and a 2-out base runner for Sevastopol on the E4.
Nice shot up in the middle of the field. Ari got kind of caught between, do I backhand or do I take one more step to get in front of it? I think she was kind of thinking, okay, so going away from it was going to have to rush that throw, pick the glove up early. So now we've got a base runner with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. 0-0 here between the Pioneers of Sevastopol and the Royals of Assumption.
Bryn Shortner now at the plate, and she swings and misses. Looked like a web gem to end the bottom of the second in Schofield. Spash is right fielder with a diving catch to end that second inning. And the offering missed outside. A ball and a strike. Sienna Kane awaits on deck. So this game, Pacelli and Tri-County baseball softball. We've got Spash and Everest softball, and then later on tonight, 6 o'clock, Abby Colby and Lakeland. And the wild pitch gets away, and now Sevastopol with a runner at second and 2 outs.
So we talked about Macy's pinpoint control. That's one of those where, again, ball looked like it was just in her hand a little too long, was a touch high and hit the back net. So Sevastopol with their first running and score position.
The 2-2 swung on and missed, evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paul mentioned earlier the NCAA Women's National Championship yesterday. And men's tonight. We'll get Paul's prediction before the night is over. That one misses high for a ball, 3-2.
I think the biggest prediction is that I'm not sure the men are going to draw more than 18.3 viewers.
I can't imagine.
I mean, again, shout out to Caitlin Clark. South Carolina had the best team, but if Caitlin Clark was just a sensational player that just really transcended the sport, took it to a different level.
3-2 is a swing and a miss as Vollert picks up her 5th strikeout. The Pioneers leave a runner at second. We've played an inning and a half. It's still 0-0. Watching high school girls softball is Lusky Sports.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
There's a strike just back in time. One major difference, there's a lot of them, one major difference between baseball and softball. Baseball guys casually walk into the dugout, casually walk out, and there's usually never the 60-second frame that you're supposed to have. Softball, that may have been 40 seconds.
2 pitches and set to go. But anyway, we welcome you back here to the Quadplex in Wisconsin Rapids, where Sevastopol is taking on Assumption in girls softball. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is 0-0. Both pitchers have thrown the ball really well. Addison worked out of a first-inning jam with an important strikeout of Nelson stranding a runner at third for Assumption. And Macy Vollert left a runner in scoring position last inning for Sevastopol as Letty Schmitz goes down on strikes for the first out of the 2nd inning here.
And this is, you mentioned it before we went on, or right as we went on, this is the part of the lineup is question marks for Assumption. You have the 1 through 5, and now see what 6 through 9 can do here as Jess Norton swings, has a nice cut there and misses for strike 1.
You know, I think that's one of the big interesting things that you'll see over the course of this season from last season is that Coach Nelson and Coach Schill brought back every starter from a team that had won state the last year. There's definitely some new faces that are going to be expected to contribute on this particular squad, and I think it's going to be exciting to see who steps up and who ultimately steps into these different positions.
Ball and a strike to Norton, followed by Madison Moss for the Lady Royals. Of course, in the Marywood South. Long look here for Shosky. And misses low and in to Jess. 2-1. Royals back in action tomorrow, as of right now, as the Lady Auburndale Eagles will play host to Assumption. Then Assumption will host Auburndale on Friday. Hoping to have that game for you on Friday afternoon over at Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids, the other side of town, or across town. Not even too far away. It's just across the road, right?
It's over the river and through the woods, but, you know.
3-1 to Jess, and she draws a walk. There you go. Couple walks today drawn by the Royals batters.
So Jess is the DH in the lineup. So Jess Norton goes ahead and hits. Kylie Carroll goes ahead and is the flex that plays left. And it looks like Coach Nelson's going to go ahead and have Kylie, the flex, enter the game to run. So one of the interesting softball rules and differences is that how you use your flex player, how you use your DH, lots of different ways and schools of thoughts there. So a runner for Assumption with 1 out nonetheless.
Now Madison Moss. You can't start yet. The umpire's not ready. Moss was ready and Shosky was ready, and umpire was still writing in his book, and so can't do that. Runner at first is Carroll with 1 away here in the bottom half of inning number 2.
How about a bonus score? Jersley from Mosinee takes Harabi Yard on the first pitch of the ball game over in Mosinee, and Mosinee leads Medford 1-0 early in the contest.
Yeah, that could be a early conference championship showdown, much like Spash and Everest Spash and Everest softball today as well. The offering home as Moss swings and misses. And it's 0-2.
So, again, I'm not sure if the camera catches it, Steve, but that there you can see Coach Schill working with Kylie on, hey, we want this the leadoff to be, we want this to look at, be this way, this is what we want from you. Again, those are going to be some of the learning curves that I think that by the time you get to the playoffs with this team, you'll see Assumption get better at, because Coach Schill, Coach Rob, our Coach Charlie, Coach Rob are two experienced coaches. But this is a unique challenge for them.
There's a swing and a miss, and Moss is down via the strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and I miswrote here. Shawsky's got 3. Struck out Nelson, Smits, and Moss. 2 away now with the runner at first, and 2 outs for Delaney Hahn.
Edison throws a real nice ball, good velocity, good control.
And it hits Delaney Hahn. She tries to square to bunt and couldn't quite get out of the way, so she takes her base with a hit by pitch. Now 2 on and 2 out for Jordan Jaglinski.
Once again, Assumption with runners in scoring positions. Got to figure you got good speed on second base, so a base hit should give you an opportunity to go ahead and score your first run of the season.
Squares the bunt, fouled it straight back off our umpire, and it's 0-1 with the runner at first and second and 2 outs. Just past 5 o'clock here in central Wisconsin. Steve Mays, Paul Jaglinski from the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Complex here on the campus of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School. The 0-1 to Jaglinski is at the knees for a strike. 0-2. Stop Construction is a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems in the Midwest. Stop Construction, a 100% employee-owned company. Runners at first and second, 2 away.
See if Addison wastes one here.
That was going to be fouled at the plate and remains 0-2.
Good low pitch out of the zone by Addison. I thought Jordan did a nice job of going ahead and fouling that off to stay alive. See another pitch. Got to shorten up and put one in play now.
2 on and 2 out. Shawsky fires, and there's a swing and a miss, and that will end our second inning. Shawsky ends up striking out the side. Assumption gets 2 runners on. Still no hits. We have played 2 completes. It is Assumption 0. Sevastopol 0. Watch high school girls softball, Zaleski Sports.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's Fat Bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool, tuition. We're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
Top of the third inning we go here from Wisconsin Rapids for the Pioneers. It'll be Sienna Kane, Livia Dusler, and Naomi Ricola for the Sevastopol Pioneers. Macy Vollert wheels and deals and misses outside for a ball 1-0.
Another update from Mosinee as our good friend and friend of the show, Greg Scott, goes ahead and lets us know. Mosinee 6, Medford 1, now in the third inning.
Wow. There's a swing and a miss. Mosinee, really high hopes. They've had him the last number of years, but they think this team is a special bunch of guys for the Indians.
Actually, this is softball.
Softball.
Again, same theory. I believe that's softball. I should confirm that. But again, same theory as the softball team has really lost to New London, who has been to state the last couple years as well. So I think, again, the hopes are equally high there.
Let's see what we got. Yep, it is Mosney 6, Medford 1 in the top of the fourth in baseball.
Okay.
And there's another strikeout for Macy Vollerton. There's one away for Olivia Dusler, the catcher. One thing that some things never change when it comes to softball and catchers, and some things that usually need to be done. Claire Nelson and Kristen Casey, very similar postures, body postures, same cool sunglasses, and just two outstanding athletes as Vollerts.
You know, it's one of those deals, Steve, despite the turnover for both of these teams, you have a solid pitcher, you have a solid catcher. You know, if you're short and your second baseman are typically in line, you're typically very competitive.
And they'll give a infield hit as Moss didn't get out of the way, and Hahn had to double clutch. And now the number 9 hitter, Dusler, is able to get on first for the top of the order, and Naomi Ricola. Solaris customers have enjoyed the same low price for 5 years running. No tricks, no gimmicks, no kidding. Packages starting at $49.99 a month. Visit Solaris.net today and learn more. So testing the young corner infield early here for Assumption. That one misses for a ball.
I'm always reminded, having watched Assumption softball for a few years, of Malia Cola's first year over at third and the way that she grew and developed. She was so smooth over there by the time she was a senior. You kind of took for granted just, again, how
it's going to be hit over to second. Kavanaugh to second for one, and they get the lead runner. Nice job by Ari to plant herself, and good job for Anna to get over there and record the out. And there's 2 away for Kachansky.
Again, Kavanaugh to Schooley is a new combination up the middle of the field. Really a nice play, especially on the turf to keep the hop. So 2 down now, runner on first base, top of the third inning, scoreless ball game here from the Rapids Quadplex.
That one's fouled at the plate, 0-1 to Taylor. And it's 0-1. Made a Custom Apparel in Stevens Point provides quality decorated apparel from hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. That's Made a Custom Apparel, Business Park, Stevens Point. Runner at first and 2 outs. Breaking ball, off speed is a beauty by Vollerton. It's 0-2.
Macy's done not only a really nice job of working inside outside, but she's done a really nice job of changing speed and tempo.
The 0-2. Missed high for a ball, and now miscommunication. Is going to be a stolen base for Ricola. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Interesting, interesting. You think about things of what have you. So Moss grabs that ball. And I thought made a nice snag at it. If that happens to get by.
And throw to first is bobbled, and the throw home is not going to be made, and Sevastopol is going to take the lead. So the 7th strikeout for Vollert. And on a drop third strike, Sevastopol scores their first run. And Ricola came around to score, never stopped after rounding third base. So just miscommunication there by the Royals. And now Jolene Lutke. Get all this hashed out here.
Good job by Ricola going ahead and being aggressive on the base paths. Again, I think you're seeing kind of the growing pains of a young team on that particular go-around.
That's going to be line to right over to Anij Jaglinski. Gets overhead all the way to the wall. Kachansky is going to go from first to third, and they're going to roll her around, and the throw home is not in time. An RBI triple for Jolene Lutke. And just like that, instead of getting out of the inning with a strikeout, Sevastopol adds another one here, 2-0 in the Top of the third, all with 2 outs here for the Pioneers.
Definitely the hardest hit ball of the day by either team. That ball was hit with some good authority on a ball that was hung a little bit high. Did a nice job of staying back and driving into the outfield.
Runner at third and 2 outs for Shosky. First one misses low for a ball, and it's 1-0. Just like that, the Pioneers lead 2-0 here in the top of the third inning. Strikeout, single, fielder's choice, strikeout, or drop third strike, and a triple. Now he's going to be fouled at the plate, and Vollert has come back to even it up at a ball and a strike. Brian Roosh is your Central Wisconsin Whitetail Properties land specialist. Turn to Brian for all your hunting, property questions, and needs. That's Brian Roosh with Whitetail Properties. There's a swing and a miss. Trying to checker swing.
Getting be right around that turkey time of the year out there where you can see him strutting and walking around in the field. So I know Whitetail Properties, you think big racks, but maybe you're thinking big beards. Give our friend Brian a phone call. He'll put you on some turkeys, I'm sure.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third and 2 outs.
That or maybe Brian is a big turkey. I get confused. Something about there's a turkey in there somewhere. So
the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Vollert again ends up striking out the side, but Sevastopol breaks through with 2 runs on 1 hit, or on 2 hits. There's Nair and 1 left on. We have played 2.5. It is 2-0 Pioneers. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other, and social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. As give you an update here from Schofield, as they are in a game delay in the third inning. DC Everest and Spash, as the first one is Schooley, is missed for a ball. Schooley, Kavanaugh, and Nelson here in the third for the Royals, trailing 2-0. And from our buddy Braden Bullis, who's producing that game at DC Everest, messages in the chat that the game is delayed because the pitching rubber at DC Everest is too close to home plate. That's a bummer. Delaying a good game there. But have to make sure everybody is on the same page and all the same competitive.
It reminds me a little bit of the situation that happened out in Portland for the NCAA where the three-point line was 9 inches too short on one side and 9 inches too long on the other side.
And Schooley to left, diving, sliding catch by Lutke, who had that triple in the last half inning. And now there's one away here in the third.
A frozen rope, as they would say in the major, is in a heck of a grab in left field by Lukey. Very, very well done.
Yeah, she had a diving catch during warm-ups, and they went bananas out there. So a good left fielder. Look out over there, a line drive into the doorway of the dugout, into the Sevastopol dugout.
That was the first base coach's second best play of the day. She had the first catch off the fence, which is great, but cat-like speed and reflexes there.
That one's off the mitts and evens it up at a ball and a strike. Score from Plainfield, Pacelli 9, Tri-County 0. Score from Buchholz Park in Stevens Point, Pacelli 9, Tri-County 0. The 1-1. Missed outside. Off-speed pitch. Just missed. 2-1. Again, Brewers in Cincinnati this week for 4.
How do you think they're going to do this year, Steve? You think the Brewers are going to be all right?
That's so far so good. Hey, a couple of tough losses, but a lot of hype and just missed. A lot of young talent for the Brewers, and a lot of them that just go out and play ball. They no worries for those guys. So
it's interesting when you're a small franchise like Milwaukee. You'd like to keep Corbin Burns. You understand as a fan why they let him go, and then you watch Burns get off to the start that he has, and you go, well. Maybe it makes sense that that you do let a player like that kind of move on. So, but Hoskins has been fun, and like I said, I mean, you hope that the Brewers at least keep it interesting to get you the Packer season.
The 3-2 to Kavanaugh is missed inside. Her second walk of the game, and there's a runner on for Claire Nelson. Yeah, Jackson Churio, 20 years old, first player in the major leagues, first player born in 2004 to make his major league debut, just 20 years old. And
I'm not going to lie, you're making me feel very old at the current moment.
And that was going to be lined into left center field. Kavanaugh is going to truck all the way around. They're going to try and score her, and it's off of the shortstop's leg, and an RBI double for Claire Nelson.
Claire Nelson with a line shot double. Kavanaugh motoring all the way around third. Coach Nelson choosing to be aggressive with her and sent her through. So Royals are on the board. 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. We'll see if Assumption can grab another run to answer the 2 spot that was put up by Sevastopol in the top half of the inning as Macy Vullert comes to plate with 1 out and runner on second base.
Yeah, sure would have been a heck of a play or a bang-bang play at home if it would not have, if Ricola would have been able to field it cleanly, but again, much like you see with receivers or outfielders or infielders, whatever, take your eye off the ball for 1 second, and it looked like that was what she did to allow Kavanaugh to score. And it was going to be tough either way to to try and gun down Ari Kavanaugh, but either way, there's a runner at third now with Nelson on the wild pitch.
So a good response here for a young Royals team. It's one of those deals where one of the big things they said that was big for the Royals in the second inning is they were able to get back to the top of the lineup.
Here's the offering home. There's a foul at the plate, and it's evened up, I believe.
I believe it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
2-1 to Vollert with Nelson at third and Smits awaiting on deck.
Again, our book and score is unofficial up here, but I believe it is 2-1.
The offering home is high to Macy. Macy grounded out to Sawyer. Yep, 3-1. 3-1 to...
I'd like to note in the chat that I got one right. That's one of the first times all year long. I would like to make sure I get credit for that. So,
3-1 inside and a 1-out walk. 4th walk issued by Shosky, and there's runners at the corners for Lydia Smits. See if they let Macy run here.
I was just going to say that this seems like a pretty standard Coach Nelson, Coach Schill, that you can expect Macy to be in motion taking second base. The real question is will Sevastopol try to throw it down and take the out, or will they allow her to go ahead and swipe the base?
Misses outside, and they're not even going to make a play. Shosky doesn't even turn around. Now there's 2 in scoring position on the ball missed for the Royals. Runners at second and third for Lydia Smits. There's a swing and a miss. Evened it up at a ball and strike. Lydia's had some big-time hits in her career here at Assumption. Trying to come through here in the bottom of the third inning.
The lone senior on the team, if I am not mistaken.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
She should maybe be a sponsor by our friends at Key Savings Bank. She could be the lone senior. So.
Jess Norton awaiting on deck. 1-2. And a big strikeout there for Shosky, and there's 2 away. Strikeout number 4 for Addison, and it's a big one. Now Jess Norton. Jess drew a walk in the second. See if she can come through here. Right down the 8th Street for a strike, and it's 0-1. Runners at second and third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Sevastopol 2, Assumption 1. Wheels and deals. That looks at a strike right at the knees, and it's 0-2. 2 on and 2 out.
Like the way that Addison has chosen to just come out and attack her. She's at a spot in the lineup where she's decided she's going to throw some strikes and see if she can put it in play.
And Shawsky strikes out 2 of the last 2 with 2 Royals in scoring position and leaves 2 stranded. We have played 3 complete. It is Sevastopol 2, Assumption 1. Watching high school girls softball, Zaleski Sports.
Buy 3 Goodyear tires and 1 is free has been extended at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Plus, get up to $200 back on 4 installed Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. Buy 3 and 1 is free in March at Sherrill Tire and Auto. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Top of the 4th inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids, 2-1 Pioneers. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Sevastopol here. Wisconsin River Orthopedics, they encourage you to stop living with the pain. Come see them and let's get you back to living your life to the fullest. For joint pain, rehabilitation, urgent care, and more, come to Wisconsin River Orthopedics here in Wisconsin Rapids. Still trying to mess here with the lighting. Get it all figured out here for you.
I'm blaming the eclipse, just personally. When you take a look at it, it's quite the phenomenon that came through today.
First offering is popped up to Schooley at short. Makes it a little bit more difficult of a catch, but she makes the catch.
Anna went back, and then she went to the side. We're going to blame, again, I'm not sure we're going with wind or solar eclipse, but anyway, look at it. Schooley goes ahead and secures the catch for the first out here in the top of the 4th inning. It's really moving along quite well here.
Addison Sawyer at the plate. Reached on an error her last time up. And there's 2 pitches and 2 outs for Macy Vollert.
Macy Vollert is going with the face of efficiency this particular inning. I'm not sure. Is there a term for a 3-pitch, 3-out inning? Is it? Is there like a sombrero or a hat trick or I don't know. We'll see if somebody in the chat has an answer for us on that. We'll see if it even happens here.
Bryn Shortner just misses inside and. There it goes away.
I scared it. My bad, folks. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning here from the Quadplex at Rapids Lincoln High School.
And the 1-0 checked her swing and missed 2-0. Sienna Kane awaits on deck.
Kind of a late appeal. When you take a look at it, I think our home plate umpire, which I think is the right call, knew that you didn't go.
Big swing, or a nice cut there and a miss. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Brent Shortner, the Sevastopol first baseman. Vollert wheels and deals. Ooh, just missed outside, 3-1.
Macy tried to lean a little bit to see if maybe she could expand the zone that way. Unfortunately, no go on that. It's 3 balls, 1 strikes now.
Nobody on, 2 away here in the visitor half of the 4th. And count runs full now to Shortner. 3-2 to the Sevastopol first baseman. Sienna Kane, the right fielder, awaits on deck. And another strikeout for Macy Vollert. We have played 3.5. Time to get up and stretch here in Wisconsin Rapids. It is Sevastopol 2, Assumption 1. Watch high school girls softball, Zaleski Sports.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Apologize for the technical difficulties here, folks, from the stadium. But here, we appreciate you going ahead and joining us in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sevastopol Pioneers lead the Assumption Royals 2-1 here at the beautiful Rapids Quadplex here in Wisconsin Rapids. Madison Moss started off the inning drawing a walk. So we've got a runner on first base. Hahn tried to lay down the bunt and was unsuccessful. I believe the count now is going to be 1-1 here. No outs, bottom four. Steve Maves is efforting to make sure that we're up and running. We appreciate not only his play-by-play, but his on-field ability to go ahead and adjust on the fly as the best producer in the ballgame. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here, bottom of the fourth inning. Moss on first, Hahn at the plate as the Royals trail by a run early in the year.
Just missed outside there. Thank you, Paul, for that is 2-2. Jordan Jaglinski waiting on deck. Thanks for Paul. Yeah, that's why it's nice to have two people up here. Things go wrong, you can have somebody helping you out. 2-2 now to Hahn. Moss leads from first. Jordan Jaglinski waits on deck. Long wait here. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Shosky, and there's one away.
See if Coach Nelson with Anna Schooley comes on deck, asks Jordan to go ahead and lay down a bunt. I would venture to guess 9-hitter. Schooley on deck. That seems to make a lot of sense to me. We'll see if Jordan can get one down.
Moss leads from first after a leadoff walk. Wheels home, squares the bunt, gets it down. It's touched. Throw to second is going to be in time. And there's two away here in the fourth inning.
You can see Coach Nelson going ahead and encouraging Madison. Got a little bit of a late break on what I thought was a good bunt by Jake Linsky.
Yep.
So now you got 2 away. Good speed on the base pass. We'll see if Anna Schooley can go ahead and put one in play and see if we can tie up the ball game here with 2 outs.
Schooley ground out and a line out today. Bounces in there for a ball, and it's 1-0. Sparhawk Trucking has become one of the area's leading trucking companies, reliably hauling for over 44 years. Come work for the best and learn more at sparhawktrucking.com. 1 ball, no strikes to the Royals junior shortstop. Evens it up at a ball and a strike.
So you can see with a lot of the young base runners here for the Royals, one of the challenges with the Wisconsin Springs is you're not able to get to the to your outside. You're practicing in the gym quite often. And when you get a lot of these young base runners, you'd like to be able to get outside and practice with it. So I think one of the reasons for both of these team compliments that they're getting a ball game in before you get to conference play. Just need to go ahead and get some of those reps to get comfortable with what you're looking doing on the base pass.
The 2-1 misses outside, 3-1. Whether you need residential, commercial, or industrial electrician work, you can rely on Econ Electric, where every job is done safe, done right, on time, every time. Econ Electric, Wisconsin Rapids.
3 balls, 1 strike. We'll see if Addison chooses to challenge Anna, and she does.
And that was going to be punched into left field, and a 2-out base hit for Anna Schooley. Nice piece hitting there for the first hit of the year for Anna. And there's 2 on, and 2 out now for Ari Kavanaugh. A couple of walks tonight for Ari.
So Steve, it's going to be an interesting piece here. We talk about this young Royals lineup. Jake Linsky, I would consider to be a pretty good athlete, but not a lot of softball running experience. If Ari can put one through, it'll be interesting to see if Coach Nelson sends her or not.
And a late break there for Jordan, and it's going to be a pass ball, and now there's 2 in scoring position for the Royals.
That kind of takes some of the drama out of the decision if Ari can put one in play. And again, you'd love to see Ari find a way to reach base with Claire Nelson standing on deck.
Foul straight back, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Pick up all your pet's favorites from Fleet Farm. Find everything from food and treats to toys and health products under one roof from all the brands you trust. Dogs or cats, they've got you covered. Shop your pets' everyday essentials at Fleet Farm. The 1-1 to Ari is going to be lined at first, and the Royals leave 2 more stranded. We have played 4 complete. It is Sevastopol 2. Assumption 1. Watching high school girls softball, Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Feind has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Bauer & Feind Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. And Paul, a nice debut for Macy Voller tonight. She's heading out to second base to be replaced now by Ari Kavanaugh. But 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 9 strikeouts and no walks.
Yeah, again, I thought her control tonight was really good. She worked it inside out, did a nice job of changing speeds.
Yep.
Early in the season for our scoreboard operator as well. So all good in terms of how that works.
Yeah, we have people that do Legion baseball here all summer, and it's still always a learning curve for those guys too.
Well,
so.
In our scoreboard operator's defense, the home field for the Assumption Royals is normally Robbie, so it's a completely different scoreboard that we're learning on the fly. We've got technical difficulties going on, from the production broadcast. Luckily, we've got the best in the business, Steve Maves, here to go ahead and fix that up for us. But you know what? We're outside. We're playing softball. Things could be worse, right? So
absolutely.
Good stuff. But on the mound now is Ari Kavanaugh for Assumption. So Ari's another hard thrower, a sophomore for Coach Nelson, Coach Hill.
The 1-1 just a bit outside. 2-1 for Kavanaugh to Sienna Kane, the Sevastopol right fielder, followed by Olivia Dusler, the catcher for the Pioneers. That's going to be fouled straight into the screen and caught by Claire Nelson. Doesn't count, but still a nice play.
50 points in the old 500 game at home, So I'm not sure. Do kids play 500 anymore?
I don't know. It was a fun game.
I always enjoyed it. It was always a fun time in terms of where it goes. There's a lot of people listening to the broadcast like, what is he talking about? But
Kavanaugh misses outside 3-2. So the number 8 hitter for the Pioneers. We are in the top half of inning number 5, the visitor half of the 5th. And Kavanaugh gets a strikeout. Comes right back down the middle. And strikeout number 1 for Ari. And there's one away here in the 5th.
Number 32, catcher
Quality Plus Printing in Wisconsin Rapids can help your business with all of your printing service needs. Banners, labels, postcards, programs, and so much more with quality custom work, quick turnaround times, and great customer service. Visit qpprinting.com, Quality Plus Printing. Gladly getting your words out. Thank you to Phil Hartley over at Quality Plus for helping us out once again this year.
Going back to that Fleet Farm ad for a second, Steve, have you ever tried the Fleet Farm seasonings? If you ever go into their meat seasoning section of Fleet Farm, I discovered that they have a wide variety, but there's a smoky Fleet Farm seasoning that is just fantastic. Putting it on burgers, putting it on ribs. Yeah. So if our friends at Fleet Farm are looking for a little product placement, smoky seasoning, I strongly recommend you pick it up.
There's a foul ball, 2 balls and a strike. Always looking to find some new stuff to spice up the food. Can't go wrong with that.
I think you go spicy food in combination with that, just like you go Whitetail Properties and Fleet Farm. It seems like the appropriate combo.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. Can be fouled at the plate. See if we can get you an update here from DC Everest. They may have postponed the game. Spash and DC Everest, they are off the air right now in Schofield. We'll see in between innings. We'll hear what Chris Conley has to say, but they may have postponed that game with the pitching rubber not the right position. So back-to-back strikeouts for Kavanaugh here. Now the top of the order, Naomi Ricola, but 2 outs now, and so big breaking-ish news in DC Everest.
After not necessarily fielding that ball clean, and I'm not sure if it was low or just whatever it was, Nelson, nice job popping up and completing that play earlier in the ball game. That strikeout with the air was one of the big contributing factors to the 2-1 deficit that the Royals face here. So, again, a nice adjustment by Claire to go up and complete that strikeout.
There's a strike. Evens it up. Bit of ball and a strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, again, high schools, no professional ground equipment, no professional ground crews. So if you discover an error like that, it's really up to the coaches. 1-1
and miss. 2-1. And I'm sure it's the first time since May last spring that it had been, except for practice maybe, but that it had been ready to be used.
And again, a lot of times you end up with, people ask, how does something like that happen? As Kavanaugh just misses outside. People ask, how does something like happen? Well, those fields are community fields, so they're used for Little League, they're used for youth softball, they're used for different levels of softball opportunities there. So, again, credit to the crew for go ahead and taking a look at it, and we'll be curious to see if they are able to get that back on track or back played. It's an important game in the Valley. Want to make sure you get that right.
Runner at second and 2 outs. The first walk issued tonight by Assumption pitching. And the couple pitches that Ari missed were not off the plate by much. And sounded like he yelled something, but it must have been a ball inside. Didn't put an arm up or anything. So 1-0 to Kachansky. And there's 2-0.
Has Kachansky hit the triple the last time up?
Nope. Lutke was on deck. Yep. Strikeout and a drop third strike for Taylor back in the 3rd inning. There's a strike. 2-1 now. Jolene Lutke waits on deck. A strikeout and an RBI triple tonight for Jolene.
Appreciate our umpires out there calling balls and strikes and calls on the field. It's always so different when you're behind the plate, taking a look at it.
Throw down to second is not in time, and a stolen base for Ricola. And there's a runner at third now at a 3-1 count here for the Pioneers.
I just saw something. WIAA just surpassed 10,000 officials
I saw that
the other day. So nice to see post-COVID to see that recovery come out as Coach Schill wants to come out and have a little conversation with Ari, perhaps talking about coverage, perhaps talking about what do we want to do here with the open base. Taking the opportunity once again to coach a young team. Again, Kavanaugh, just a sophomore.
Yeah.
So, again, you think about even over the course of the last couple of years, Ava, of course, was Rob's daughter. He coached her in Fire Pro, or at least was around her with Fire Pro. I don't know if he was the actual head coach or not. But you spend a lot of time with that father-daughter. They were probably on the same page. In fact, it was one of those deals where I'm sure Rob could probably give her a look, and she's like, yeah, Dad, I know. I mean, I certainly can relate that Jordan knows that feeling, and we're like, yeah, you don't have to come on and say it. But with Kavanaugh now and Macy, I'm sure there's a little bit more conversation that could be had.
And he comes out, and Ari pumps in a strike. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualwausau.com to find agents near you. The 3-2. Line foul into the Sevastopol dugout.
Sevastopol's doing a nice job of starting to time the Assumption pitchers, put a lot of balls in play. You can see, once again, this is going to be a really solid team.
Yep.
Up in the Packerland, they're playing a lot of Division III, Division IV schools. I've not looked to see with what sectional they're in. My guess is that they are probably in with Newman Catholic and, of course, Stevens Point Pacelli. So the sectional, obviously, with the defending state champ is pretty challenging, but I'll confirm that so that I don't completely give you a whole bunch of misinformation. But that's my guess. But, again, Sevastopol looks like they're really a solid put-together team.
Now Jolene Lutke, a strikeout and a RBI triple. Now 2 on and 2 out for Lutke. Now and bounces in there for a ball. Back-to-back walks after back-to-back strikeouts. Get Culligan Water for only $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Sterling Culligan Water at CulliganH20.com. That's Culligan the number 20.com.
Can't help myself. Hey, Culligan, man.
The 1-0. Just a bit outside. 2-0. Shawsky awaits on deck.
You feel like that's an old commercial, and then you realize you're closer to 2050 than you are to the year 2000. And you just realize that you are pretty old, Steve. That's all you realize by that statement.
The 2-0 from Kavanaugh. There's a high strike, throw down to third, and they safe. A heck of a slide there by Ricola. And runners move or advance. That was a good throw, but a much better slide there by Naomi.
Claire didn't field it clean, though, as it popped out of her glove, but her recovery was outstanding. Good throw, just better speed by Ricola.
Base hit will score 2 for sure for Sevastopol, and it's a 3-1 count now to Lutke, who can and has the power to put one over the fence here. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Indecisive there for Lutke, and the count runs full. Double clutch it looked like for Jolene. 2 on, 2 out here. A big pitch in this game upcoming. And grounded to third and foul.
So, Steve, just to clarify for those at home, Sevastopol is in Sectional 2 of Division 5. They are in Group B side of it, so it's an interesting place with Allman, Bancroft, Green Bay, New London, Pacelli, Tigerton, Wild Rose. So, really some powerful teams that they're in with. They'll be right in the mix in that very tough sectional.
The 3-2. Ground foul again. Sevastopol's season last year ended at Allman Bancroft in a regional final.
And on the top side of that sectional, the winner of that Group B sectional will either most likely get Wabena Leona, Newman Catholic, or one of those schools up there. Apologize if there's a different power. Those are the two that I know in years past have been pretty good. So
the 3-2. Oh, my goodness. Just missed on the outside corner. 3 walks in a row, not by more than an inch. Missed on the outside. Bases loaded now for Addison Shawsky. A couple of strikeouts for Addison tonight. As the weather warms up, look to Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling in Wisconsin Rapids. They got more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling today. So after a couple of strikeouts to Kane and Dusler, then 3 straight walks to the top of the order for Sevastopol, and they could break this one wide open with a base hit.
Again, in a non-conference contest like this with the young team, Steve, you can't ask for better experience than what the Royals are getting. Now, obviously, you'd like to see Ari settle in and throw some strikes and see if you can get out of it, but you're putting this team in some good learning moments, some good learning positions, all very important for them.
The 1-0. There's a strike. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th inning in Wisconsin Rapids, closing in on 6 o'clock here in central Wisconsin.
Ari did a nice job on the previous pitch catching the top of the zone. In this particular spot, our umpire has been very consistent that she's been trying to work that low outside corner, and she just appears to be missing it by a little bit. So 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe, is the count.
And that one's right down the middle, and it's 2-2. Shosky in disbelief with herself that she didn't see it out of the hand or something, but frustrated with herself after that pitch was thrown. And a big pitch here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kavanaugh wheels and deals. Going to be grounded at the plate. Remains even at 2-2.
Shosky does a nice job of going ahead and getting a piece to continue to battle as she tries to time up Kavanaugh. Again, the first time she's faced her in the ball game. Yep. Ari throws a little bit of a different ball than what Macy does. Even Macy throws a little bit more of a off speed. Ari throws a little bit more of a rise ball.
The 2-2. We grounded again at the plate. Reminder that, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from Carrie Van Aert. State Farm on auto, homeowners, life insurance, renters, and more. For both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield, find Carrie Van Aert State Farm on Facebook. Get started today. Kavanaugh back at it, the 2-2. Right back to Kavanaugh. Steps, and she works out of it. A good job there by Ari Kavanaugh and the Royals. Sevastopol leaves 3. We played 4.5. It's still 2-1 Pioneers. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Why work for Staub Construction?
Everybody around you is just family.
Everybody seems to bond together and get along good, and
they, I believe, truly care about their employees.
Staub has a great benefits package.
Staub is an employee-owned company that puts a large emphasis on work-life balance.
And everybody wants to see everybody succeed.
It's a good place to work.
Join the team at Staub Construction. Apply now at staubco.com.
Hey everybody, Nat over at Wheeler Chevrolet GMC, and I am standing in our all-new Express Lane. Open now, no appointment necessary. Stop on in and get things like oil changes, filters, quick lubes. No appointment necessary. See you soon.
Bottom of the 5th inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids. It'll be Nelson, Vollert, and Smits for the Royals. As Nelson today 1 for 2, a strikeout and an RBI double for Assumption. And Shosky's still back out there in her 5th inning of work here against the Royals. 3rd time through the lineup. As Nelson will head to the plate. First one misses outside for a ball. UConn Purdue tonight, Paul. What do you... I know you're a huge fan of women's basketball, and rightfully so. Obviously, you got a high school girl basketball player and some exciting women's basketball this year, to say the least, around the country. And but men's game tonight. They'll wrap up the basketball season. Obviously, NBA they go all the way into July, late June, July. But college basketball ends tonight.
One of the most impressive runs I think I can remember is what UConn is on right now. They have won, I believe, every game by double digits in the tournament. I can't remember a team that's been this dominating. I do have a lot of respect. I enjoy watching Zach Edey. You don't have a lot of big men in the game anymore where everything pretty much goes outside in. Nowadays. So to see Purdue play a little different style, I'm definitely rooting for the Boilermakers and a little Big Ten pride, but I think UConn is just too good, too complete of a team. As Nelson hits one down the line, but it's going to hook foul. So 3-2 on clear here in the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Quadplex. I do think it's an interesting development to see if Dan Hurley takes the Kentucky job. Rumor has it is that Kentucky is going to offer him a big package as Claire Nelson draws the leadoff walk. A good start to the inning for the Royals. But the rumor has it, Steve, is, of course, last night the breaking news, John Calipari leaves for Arkansas. In bizarro world. Okay. In terms of where it goes, somebody pays me $10 million and gives me an NAL package, I'd probably go to Arkansas too. Yeah. So I don't blame Coach Cal. But then going ahead and, you see Kentucky immediately on the search, and, you see all the different big names, Brad Underwood, and you see TJ from Iowa State. But Dan Hurley seems like a slam dunk hire for Kentucky if they're going to go ahead and roll out the bank account.
Grounded to first, bobbled for a second as Vollerts advances Nelson over to second with one out now for Lydia Smits for Assumption. One away for the Assumption center fielder Lydia Smits.
Nice play at first by
Shortner.
That ball was kind of an in-between hop off the turf. She did a great job of getting her body in front of it, keeping in front, and then calmly stepping on the base to record an important first out here.
Offering to Lydia's popped up on the infield. Over on it is Sawyer, and she's going to make the catch for out number 2. So Nelson stays at second with 2 outs now for Jess Norton. A walk and a strikeout tonight for Jess as Nelson stays put at second base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's going to be popped up. Look out over there. Baseball game just about to get underway. At 6 o'clock, Abby Colby and Lakeland. Starting at 6 o'clock, Joe Anderson on the call of that one. Cale Jacoby producing for us tonight. Before Cale goes off to do bigger and better things in the United Kingdom at the end of the month, going to film school over across the pond. So good luck to Cale. He has contributed more than we had ever hoped. Pardon me. And he capped off his Zaleski Sports broadcasting career calling a Columbus Catholic State Championship game. So thank you to Cale is beyond words.
We certainly wish him the best of luck, and what an amazing adventure to be at his age and to be able to go experience that. It's well done. I think I was married for 92 years by the time I was his age. I can't even remember. So
the 2-2 to Jess misses low for a ball 3-2.
Actually, my wife tells me it's only been like 22, 23 years, but it doesn't feel like a day over 50. So
a good crowd here tonight. That's from. Robinson Park's usually packed, so not surprising as Jess fouls this one. But a good crowd here at the Rapids Quadplex on this Monday night. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Wisconsin Rapids looks to continue their undefeated season in girls softball. They'll take on the Lumberjacks. Claire Cushman and the Lady Jacks come to Wisconsin Rapids tomorrow night. There's a walk.
It's Norton's second drawn walk of the ball game, if I'm not mistaken. That brings Moss up to the plate now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Assumption's had a fair amount of base runners in this game. They've not been able to go ahead and come up with those big hits yet.
That was a good swing by Madison, though.
As Madison's like, I'll show you in terms of where it goes. But they've put themselves in a good position. I think if you're Coach Nelson and Coach Schill, you're probably pretty encouraged by the fact of, okay, we've got runners on base. Eventually, a ball's going to find the turf.
Yep. Yeah.
And get through.
The 0-1. Going to be dribbled over to Sawyer at second, and that'll end our 5th inning. No runs, no hits, a couple of walks, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We have played 5 complete. It is 2-1 Pioneers. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Hi, I'm Shai from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. It'll be Schaff, Sawyer, and Shortner here for Sevastopol in the top of the 6th inning. Still 2-1 Pioneers holding on to this lead. Kavanaugh back out there. Misses for a ball, 1-0. See all the comments on here all over X/Twitter that a lot of people upset. 9:20 Eastern time starting as Madison Voss in and out of the mitt is going to tag Schaff for the first out. 9:20 Eastern time start for a national title game, and people are upset about it.
One of the things that, Steve, I don't think that people appreciate enough in the Midwest or in the Mountain Time is the perfect time we get to watch sports. For the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, we were out in the East Coast, and it's one of those deals where the second ball game, I believe it was Tennessee and somebody, started at 10:09 Eastern time on a Thursday night. I mean, by the time the game came, I was exhausted. I'm not sure I would have made it up for it in Central Time, much less on the Eastern Time side of it. But, again, I understand why the networks want to do it. They want to maximize the ratings. You're talking 5:08 or 5:20 on the West Coast, so I get it. But it does make it quite inconvenient for these not only viewers, but for these quote-unquote student athletes.
Well, absolutely. And, I mean, it's a little different for the East Coast with, ESPN being in Connecticut and all these major networks and all this stuff being on the East Coast. But, 9:20, that's way past.
Going back to Kerry Van Aert's commercial for a second, one of the things I really enjoyed most about the Women's State Tournament is I thought the State Farm Caitlin Clark commercials were fantastic as Kavanaugh goes ahead and paints the corner for the second out here in the inning. But, again, I thought that the State Farm commercials were really interesting. I really like the one where Caitlin shows up and the guy says, "Oh, shoot," and they're like, "Oh, where's the hoop?" And there's no hoop. And then Reggie Miller shows up and like, "Oh, did somebody call for an old pacer?" I thought they were quite clever. But, again, just to see a woman become the face of State Farm Insurance and draw 18 million viewers to a women's college game. Jordan and I were fortunate enough to go over and see her at the Big Ten tournament, and there were 40-some-year-old people my age wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys, looking for her autograph. Back when we were in high school, can you imagine wearing a women's pro college jersey to anything? It would have been kind of the case. So, congratulations to Caitlin on a great career. Congratulations to Carolina on of course, as that ball just was hit down the line, just foul. But congratulations on what was a terrific women's tournament, and hopefully Purdue UConn can finish the year with a terrific tournament. Now the bigger picture question is that the 1-7 in their last 8-game Bucks are they going to get it figured out, Steve?
Probably not. That's short answer.
So as a known Celtic fan, I would say I tend to agree. As Ari tried to throw me one up here, I was open, but the net blocked it from that regards. As Yurko would say, just a bit high.
Yeah. Well, and kind of going back to the timing thing, speaking of Brewers and West Coast, when they're out there for 2 weeks or 10 days, however long the Brewers usually go on those West Coast trips, they usually don't start in LA until 7 o'clock LA time, so that's 9 o'clock around here. So as Kavanaugh picks up a couple of strikeouts, bottom of the 6th inning we go, moving right along here in Wisconsin Rapids. Still 2-1 Pioneers. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
What sets Nakusa Port Edward State Bank apart from other Wisconsin banks far beyond rates and financial services? You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank has over 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area, local small and mid-sized businesses, while proudly supporting so many community projects over the years. They're your neighbors, your friends, and you'll find them actively serving communities where we work, live, and play. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Bottom of the sixth inning we go. Delaney Hahn at the plate. A walk and a hit by pitch today for Delaney here as we play in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-1 Pioneers. No runs since the third inning on either side. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, misses for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Anderson, I believe. I'm assuming their live kill is, besides a good broadcaster, very good producer in his own right as well. Hahn, Jaglinski, and Schooley for the Royals here in the sixth. Let's see what we got here. There it is. Beautiful Nakusa Port Edward State Bank baseball field to our right. And they're in the bottom of the first inning, Abby Colby and Lakeland.
Nice co-op with Abby Colby to be able to go ahead and take advantage of both baseball and softball so that the kids are able to compete. As Hahn goes down with her with a strikeout, that is number 7 for Addison Shosky on the day. She's thrown a nice ball. Like I said, I early season, just early impression. Sevastopol is going to be a nice squad. Sevastopol is going to have a nice squad, come playoff time by the time you get to the end as Jake Linsky steps in and takes the strike. 0-1, high outside corner.
Yeah, speaking of Abby Colby, I mean, they're usually very competitive and very good. Merriwood North favorites for them. The only issue that they have when come playoff time, because there's a foul at the plate, because they are co-opted, and there's only 4 divisions in baseball, they get moved up to Division II with Mosinee and all those, Medford and all that. So they try their best to play that kind of competition in non-conference play. And there's a high strike. And strike number 8 for Shosky. Now Anna Schooley with 2 outs.
Young Royals are going to need to learn that you need to go ahead and protect on the outside corner. You got to give yourself a chance. You don't want to allow the umpire to go ahead and make that decision. That ball is obviously clearly on the outside corner, but even if it's not, it's too close to go ahead and watch.
Schooley at the plate, 1 for 3 today. That's going to be lifted to right. Kane twisting around and makes a nice catch in right field to end the 6th inning. We go to the 7th. 2-1 Sevastopol. Back after this. Zaleski Sports.
You couldn't possibly go through all this stuff by yourself, especially since Dad isn't as young and mobile as he used to be. I'd love to help if I had more time between work, kids, and their activities. Have you considered getting any help?
I'd love to, but I don't know who to call.
Kushel & Kushel, removal and recycling services for seniors, handicaps, and those who need help. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. From painting, landscaping, moving, chores, and more. Please give David a call at 715-323-5762.
Business owners share so many challenges, but there's one challenge that has an easy solution. Branding your business with creative graphics and a plethora of effective print marketing options is as easy as Quality Plus Printing. With over 30 years of marketing expertise and a track record of happy customers, you can trust in Quality Plus Printing to develop the perfect brand for you. As a business owner, you have enough to focus on. Give yourself a break and trust in Quality Plus Printing on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids, or find us at qpprinting.com. That's qpprinting.com.
Top of the 7th inning we go. It'll be 8-9-1 due up here for the Pioneers. Sienna Kane, who just made that catch the right fielder, at the plate. Reminder, tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Wood Street Rentals. For any size job, when you need equipment, look to Wood Street Rentals, offering a great variety of rental equipment to help you get the job done with delivery service to any job site. That's Wood Street Rentals. There's a strike to start the seventh inning here in Wisconsin Rapids. Kavanaugh wheels and deals home. And I'll be back with you tomorrow in the softball field just behind us. Wisconsin Rapids will take on Wausau East. Wausau East only 3 wins a year ago in conference play, and they look to improve on that with a very talented senior class over in Lumberjack land.
They just picked up 2 victories at the Marathon Quad over the weekend. Marathon and maybe Edgar
yep.
In terms of where it goes. So a nice start to the year for them. Kavanaugh not given the outside corner. She has consistently tried to throw it there, and the umpire has consistently said nope. So we'll see if an adjustment is made, but 3 balls and 1 strike.
And can't get the outside, can't get the inside, and a walk here for Ari. And now Olivia Dusler, the catcher, a single and a strikeout tonight for Olivia. And the first offering misses outside for a ball, 1-0.
Kind of thought with maybe with Livia being at the bottom of the lineup that maybe you would get a bunt, try to advance that runner for Ricola to come up here, but not scoring run on the first pitch.
And there's a strike.
Or the second.
1 ball and 1 strike with the runner at first.
Obviously why I'm sitting here. So
runner at first and nobody out. This is inside, 2-1. Top of the order, 2 up next.
It's interesting, Steve, to see they were talking about the difference with we were talking about the difference between men's and women's Final Four. So they were talking about ticket prices yesterday. $481 for the get-in price to the final. Put in obviously $17,000. But Saturday night when you watch those Final Four men's games be played in those football stadiums, as Kavanaugh again misses outside. So Sevastopol Pioneers put the 2 runners on first and second. I believe there's 1 out. I'm not sure that there are no outs. Okay,
no outs.
So no outs here in the top of the 7th. First and second, and the top of the lineup coming up. So Kavanaugh is going to have to go ahead and buckle down now.
Top of the order, 2 up here for the Pioneers, and there's a strike to Ricola. A strikeout, fielder's choice, and a walk tonight for Naomi. And if the Royals want a chance in the bottom of the 7th, they have to keep this deficit to 1 or 2 here.
A manageable number, they would say, Steve.
Yeah. That one misses outside, and throw down to third is going to be not in time. And Kane will head to third.
That's an important advancement there because it takes away your infield fly. It probably puts you in a spot where now, a ball that's hit, you no longer have that force play. So you really got to look that runner back. So a big advancement there.
The 1-1 is a strike, and then Dusler will slide in with an uncontested take of second. And now a base hit here with nobody out. Will likely score 2 here for the Pioneers. Top of the order and Ricola. Kavanaugh 1-2. Dribbled foul up along first.
So finishing that thought, Steve. So you watch the men's Final Four game be played in the big football stadiums where they put the basketball court in. 2 things that happen is that, one, you can see all over X the amount of view is that just it's really a tough seat to be able to be in and see it. Ooh, Kavanaugh showing some emotion. She wanted that one called, as the umpire said, just a bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Ricola. But 1, the views are tough, but 2, what do you think of playing in the stadium that size for it? Are you a fan? Do you not like? Where do you land on that?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I know that, and that was going to be grounded foul. I know that it's at this point in everything, it's all about the cash money and all that. But it's something to ask the players. Of course, obviously they haven't some of them, I'm sure, are upset about it, but they haven't had a big an uptick of being mad about it. That was going to be hit over to third, and no play anywhere. Infield base hit for Ricola, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out for Taylor Kachonsky. But people, I mean, I haven't heard people upset about it. And now Coach Nelson to have a conversation with his infield with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Number 15, third baseman,
So
Taylor.
I'll tell you, from personal experience, when we went out, was at the 2014 and 2015 Final Four. So in Jerry Jones Stadium and then over in Indianapolis. It was a significantly better experience in 15 when the Badgers beat Kentucky. But again, it's just a different environment for basketball. You're kind of used to those close arenas and those loud stadiums, and it's a different feel for the Final Four. I would think that shooting on a court like that would also be very different for the background for those particular players.
Bases loaded. Number 2 hitter in the lineup, Taylor Kachonsky. Right down the middle for a strike, 0-1.
Kavanaugh out of room to go ahead and put players. So she's had a few walks in this particular ball game, and that Sevastopol's done a really nice job of forcing deep counts.
And this is for a ball, 1-1.
Going to need to go ahead and come aggressive with 2, 3, 4 in the lineup coming up, right?
Yep. Number 2 is batting right now.
Yep.
The 1-1 here. Maybe fouled at the plate. Had 2 strikes on Ricola. She just had an infield single. And now Kachonsky.
Are doing a nice job going ahead and getting ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the 7th inning. 2-1 Sevastopol, but Sevastopol definitely threatening Royals. They put themselves in a tough spot here.
2-1, or the 1-2 misses outside, 2-2.
Kavanaugh has definitely tried to paint that outside corner. Sevastopol has done a great job of laying off that pitch. Let's see if Ari makes an adjustment.
2-2. And that one's fouled into the mitt.
Really a nice grab by Claire Nelson to go ahead and pick that ball clean. Did a great job of keeping the ball down, and then she immediately brought it up with great confidence to show the umpire that she had it. That's a veteran move out of the recent Missouri Western State Griffith commit, Claire Nelson. So great play by Claire Nelson.
Now Jolene Lutke, and that one's going to be down for a base hit. That'll score 1. That'll score 2. Kicked into the fence. That'll score 3. A 3 RBI double for Jolene Lutke. And she continues her magnificent night, a double and a triple with 4 RBIs now for Jolene.
Both balls hit to right field by Lupke with the double and the triple. Both frozen ropes hit to the outfield. Not a lot to do there, just a really nice piece of hitting. Again, Kavanaugh working outside. Lupke went ahead and stayed patient and drove the ball to that range.
Absolutely. Tough to go opposite field. She did a great job there. Now it's going to be hit foul. 5-1 now. And now Shosky at the plate with 1 out.
As Coach Nelson and Coach Schill, I'm sure will tell you, they had expected some growing pains from this young Royals team. And again, I think you've taken a look at it. They also wanted to put them in a good position. So we'll see how they respond, if they can go ahead and get themselves out of this inning as the ball gets past Nelson on what I would say probably appears to be a wild pitch, but again, all unofficial in terms of where it goes. Even in count at 1 ball, 1 strike, but we'll see how the young team responds. It's one thing where you got to take a look at it. There has to be some growing moments for a young team all the way across the board.
Squares a bunt again, and Shosky able to tiptoe away, and it 2 balls and a strike now. Runner at third and 1 out. Kavanaugh sets and fires, squares the bunt again, and fouled it at the plate. 2-2 with 1 out.
So it's interesting to see the bunt strategy there, Steve, with 1 out. It doesn't appear to be a suicide type situation.
And there's a swing and a miss, and they have to secure the out. Madison, and she's going to slide home head first, and another run scores on another strikeout. They did get the out at first on the strikeout by Kavanaugh. There's 2 away.
I believe that's the 3rd time in this ballgame, Steve, that we've seen a dropped third strike. And again, I have no idea if that's a byproduct of the pitch. As that ball's hit the right field,
Popped
Jake
up
Linsky.
to right, and it's going to fall. Fair ball. And Schaff will head to third, and they're going to roll her in and stop her at third. A 2-out triple.
That batter was number 10, center fielder Elena Shaw.
And now that was Schaff on another triple for the Pioneers.
Again, I don't know if there's a little bit of a win. Jake Linsky did not get a good read on that ball. Just didn't get a good read on the ball. We saw Anna had one a little bit earlier in that where she went back, she came in. I don't know if there's a little bit of a wind blowing or if it's a little bit hard to see, but again, that was not a smooth play.
Misses inside. Addison Sawyer at the plate. The 1-0. This is inside, 2-0. The 2-0 count. 3-0 with Bryn Shortner awaiting on deck.
The lights are now on. I was kind of noticing because you got him on the side, but you don't necessarily have light in the middle as Kavanaugh sneaks that one for a strike. Like I said, it's an interesting, right? Because you got him side and side.
The 3-1. Grounded back to Kavanaugh, steps, rockets it over to first, and that'll end our top of the 7th inning. 4 across for the Pioneers. Last shot here for the Royals, down 5. Back after this. So, Lesky Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fury, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing.
All right, bottom of the 7th inning, and we go. We'll hear from Maida again in just a moment. That one's going to be lined into the screen, 0-1. Royals back in action tomorrow. They head up to Auburndale, take on the Eagles. As a big conference matchup tomorrow, and then they head back home for a game on Friday. Kavanaugh again fouls it back, or fouls it to the right. And then I think Saturday they have a doubleheader at Mosinee. So, as Paul mentioned earlier in the game, 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks until the season is over. Kavanaugh again lines it foul.
May 16th is your opening of the girls softball tournament. Means you got a seed probably May 9th.
Yep.
So, you really think about where it is, getting your conference games in and really getting those games in. If you play 4 games a week for 5 weeks, you got 20 games. And that's providing you don't get any more rain and or snow or pitching rubbers not being in the right place. Or
yeah, exactly.
Very, very frustrating when you lose games to that where it comes from there.
The 1-2. Kavanaugh over to short. Ricola steps across, not in time. Infield base hit for Ari Kavanaugh. On base for the 3rd time today is Ari. A couple of walks, a line out, and now a single.
That's going to look like a hard hit line drive in the book later in terms of where it goes. Kavanaugh using good speed in terms of where it goes. Nelson now at the plate. again, they always say if you're going to come down from a 6-1 deficit in the bottom of the seventh, you got to be down 6-1 first, Steve. So
Nelson bloops this one to left. Over on it is Lutke, who has had an outstanding game tonight and continues it with that catch. And there's one away.
Nelson just kind of caught that one a little bit off of her handle or off the end of the bat, kind of on an outside pitch. So one down here for the Royals. Does any idea when Sevastopol plays next, Steve?
I do not know.
Really testing his knowledge there, folks. Every now and then, it's always fun to play Stump Steve. Steve, one of the behind the scenes is always one of the more prepared announcers here at Zaleski Sports. Does a great job for us over on the basketball side of it as well. So every now and then, it's fun to challenge to see just how much research he did. I'm going to see if I can get their schedule up.
It's been a long 5 weeks since the end of basketball. With
tell me about
it. with a newborn and a whole bunch of stuff. Not work related, but I sure was happy to be back last Friday. Back in the booth calling softball over just behind us, Wisconsin Rapids and Merrill, and it's been full on throttle since then. As Voller looks at a strike, he evens it up at 2-2.
Now, if the schedule is posted, and again, my apologies in advance to the chat if WIS Sports is not correct, but it looks like Sevastopol will play at Gibraltar, Washington Island tomorrow, and it looks like a doubleheader, which I'm guessing is a conference game. Let me confirm to see that if I look at standings, because again, I do not want to offend anybody in the chat. I'm guessing, but yes, Gibraltar, Washington Island is a conference game. So Sevastopol back in action tomorrow as well.
3-2 right through the wickets of Shosky, and a couple base hits here for the Royals in the seventh inning. Saw Gibraltar, Washington Island last year. They came to Stevens Point, played Pacelli in a playoff game, and unfortunately haven't been able to get up to Washington Island, but anywhere in the peninsula is probably pretty beautiful.
So I'll bite Washington Island. You have to take the ferry there. Is that what that is?
I'm not sure.
I assume when you hear island, I think water. So I wonder if there's because I know there's a spot up in the UP or in Door County where you need to take the ferry too. I don't know if that's Washington Island or not. That maybe the chat can go ahead and give us a little bit of information on.
Smits fouls that one into the net, and it's a ball and a strike.
Would you be so inclined to be a apple or a wine guy if you were to go to Door County?
Apple. Yep. I'm not an alcohol drinker, so I'm an apple eater.
Gotcha. I'd be a mini golfer personally. So
yeah.
Although I do like a good apple, that's always a good treat.
The 1-1. Lydia pops it up. First base side foul territory, and it'll drop harmlessly, and it's 1-2. It did get some inclusion here from, or information from Jason Zaleski about the situation in or at DC Everest. We'll relay all that to you here in just a second. And that was going to be grounded back to Shosky to third, and she's going to be safe. It was dropped. Her foot was not on the base. And so everybody's going to be safe. Bases are going to be loaded. So Kavanaugh is going to stay put, and Smith is going to reach on the fielder's choice. Kachansky did not have her feet on the base, and Kavanaugh slid in there before she got her glove onto the base.
Our friend of the broadcast, Greg Scott, did confirm that you do need to take a ferry to Washington Island. Thank you, Greg, for the information. Again, Greg, the fountain of knowledge for us, does a great job for, of course, Great Northern Conference as the statistician commissioner, and also a big supporter of Mosinee Athletics. He helps out with stats over there as well.
The 0-1 is good for a strike, and it's 0-2. So according to our boss, field manager moved home plate yesterday. New field manager read roadbook distance from home plate should be 200 feet. Moved home plate forward to make the distance to left field from 201 to 200. Didn't tell the AD he was making this change, and so they got it all figured out. So.
Jason Zaleski, just like The Rock, the final boss of Zaleski Sports here. So shout out to a good WrestleMania last night for those that went ahead and watched it. Guys Steve and I's age were enjoying seeing some of the favorites as Cena and Undertaker and The Rock and a few of the others came back as Norton put the ball in play.
2-2 slow roller, and he's going to be out at first. A run does score for Assumption. Nice job by Jess to put it in play for the Royals. And everybody advances on the 6-3 putout. And good job over there by Shortner to keep her foot on the base as well.
Important ball to put in play. Again, early in the ball game, there was a couple opportunities for the Royals where if they could have put a ball in play, I feel like they would have had a couple additional runs. So you got to be encouraged if you're Coach Nelson, Coach Hill, loaded the bases. Yep. Vollert, I believe that's her first hit. She had a nice hit. It might be her second hit. I'm doing it right off the top of my head. It's her first hit up the middle. Now you get a run here in the bottom of the inning, so it's a good response. And you're still giving yourself a chance with 6-2.
And Moss. Maddie's put a good swing on a couple of them and just missed that one again. 1 ball and 1 strike to Moss, the first baseman. Strikeout, a walk, and a ground out tonight for Madison.
33, first baseman Madison Moss.
And the 1-1. There's a swing and a miss, and Assumption down to their final strike here against Sevastopol. Long trip from Sevastopol, and they're taking full advantage of
that bus trip home always feels a little shorter after a win, Steve.
The 1-2. Able to just miss inside. 2-2.
Again, compliment to both coaches for finding a way to make this happen.
Yep.
Again, they had to find a different site for the field, which is normally not Assumption's home ballpark. And then they take an opportunity to get that long trip on a Monday night to get it in. But I think it's going to benefit both teams going forward.
2-1. Moss again just misses. And remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Assumption freshman. Smits and Vollert, the base runners. And Shosky fires home, and Madison fouls it straight back. Appreciate everyone tuning in, sticking around. As Amy said, game is at Gibraltar. We play Peshko on Saturday in a doubleheader. Well, again, all these teams that are playing these non-conference games, we sure wish you the best of luck the rest of the year. That's teams you usually only play once, especially in these non-conference. Best of luck the rest of the spring, absolutely.
And appreciate Amy checking in and providing that information. Yep. That's always helpful in the chat.
3-2. Moss pops it over to Ricola at first, and Shortner keeps her foot. But again, Sevastopol comes away with a 6-2 win here tonight on a 6-3 putout. Again, congratulations to the Pioneers. We will be back in just a moment to wrap this one up in your Next Step Prosthetics post-game show. Back after this quick break. Zaleski Sport.
Hi, I'm Shad from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
All right, welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Time now for your Next Step Prosthetics post-game show as we close in on 6:30 here in central Wisconsin. Next Step Prosthetics, I've got it on here somewhere. Providing prosthetics and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. Reminder also that tonight's broadcast was brought to you in part by SC Swiderski. An SCS apartment or home is where you want to live, work, and play all throughout central Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, and the Fox Valley. No matter where you live, look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home. Visit scswiderski.com for more. So Sevastopol gets the 6-2 win here tonight. They scored twice in the third and 4 times in the 7th inning. Assumption, as we mentioned earlier, they scored once in the third, had some early opportunities in the game with runners in scoring position and on bases. But, again, growing pains with a young team. And it was nice, as you mentioned, in the 7th inning. Jess put the bat on the ball. Madison put the bat on the ball. Just getting that confidence to have that feeling and hear that sound that that you're putting the bat on the ball.
Yeah, you started off in the bottom of the first inning where the Royals ended up getting a runner to third base and Claire was not able to put that ball in play, and then same with Macy, and unfortunately they didn't get that run in the top of the inning. Then it seemed like each inning afterwards they had an ample amount of base runners. They just weren't able to go ahead and push a run across. And defensively, one of the things that I think you look at with Coach Nelson and Coach Schill, they were not as sharp as what I think that they want to be. But again, I think that's part of the practicing in the gym versus getting outside. And I think one of the maybe undersold things is Macy Vollert threw a heck of a ball game. Had 9 strikeouts in, I believe, 4, maybe she went 4 innings, if I'm not mistaken.
4, yep.
Yeah, so struck out 9 of the 12 batters that she that she faced, and put Assumption in a really good spot to go ahead and win the game. Obviously, in a non-conference game, you wanted to get Ari Kavanaugh some innings. Again, Ari came in, I would say, struggled with some control compared to where Macy was at. But again, got some good opportunities to have some throw. You had Claire being new catcher. She was all-conference shortstop the last couple of years, dropped a few balls that led to a throw to first where it's just a play that you can't make in the gym that you got to make outside. So I feel pretty encouraged about with what we saw from Assumption. I'm sure they're disappointed with the loss, but again, Sevastopol is a high-quality team. It was a nice night for softball, and I'm glad we could bring it for you here for free on Zaleski Sports. Thank you to everybody that watched and to our sponsors, and I do encourage you to please go visit those sponsors and let them know that Steve Maves and Zaleski sent you, just because it's so important. Without our sponsors and really without you watching, we would not be able to bring you softball.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big shout out to Amy and Sandy checking in. Amy providing some information for us, and Sandy says, way to go, Olivia, and great game, Pioneers. And it was a great game for Jolene Lutke. 2 for 4, had a strikeout and a walk, and in between that had a RBI triple and a 3 RBI double to propel the Pioneers here tonight. As mentioned, Sevastopol back in action tomorrow as they head to Gibraltar to take on Gibraltar, Washington Island. Assumption back in action tomorrow. They head up to Auburndale, and then they'll be back at home against Auburndale on Friday. Again, appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. 6-2 Sevastopol over the Assumption Royals. I'll be back with you tomorrow in a big, early Wisconsin Valley Conference game, Wisconsin Rapids and Wausau East, 4:30 first pitch here at the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Complex. For my broadcast partner, Paul J. Glinski, this is Steve Maves signing off from Wisconsin Rapids. Again, it is the Sevastopol Pioneers 6, the Assumption Royals 2. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. We'll talk to you again tomorrow right here on Zaleski Sports.